We continue the topic friction and angle of friction we have studied. Now we discuss about angle of repose. Angle of repose. So the definition of angle of friction was the resultant, the angle made by the resultant with the normal direction. That was the angle of friction. And the angle of repose is the minimum angle that an inclined plane makes with the horizontal. The minimum angle, the minimum angle that an inclined plane, the minimum angle that an inclined plane makes with the horizontal. Inclined plane makes with the horizontal. The minimum angle that an inclined plane makes with the horizontal when a body placed on it, when a body placed on it just begins to slide down, just begins to slide down. So angle of repose is the minimum angle that an inclined plane makes with the horizontal, and when a body placed on it, when a body placed on the horizontal plane, it just begins to slide down. It just begins to slide down. Suppose this is the horizontal plane and the minimum angle inclined with the horizontal. Suppose a body is kept on this plane. So in this situation, in horizontal situation, the body is at rest. When we incline this plane, then a time reaches that body just begins to slide down. So the angle at which the body just begins to slide down and the angle with the horizontal is called angle of repose. So this is the horizontal plane, and this plane is inclined. Suppose this plane is inclined at an angle phi with the horizontal. The plane is inclined at an angle phi with the horizontal, and there is a body kept on this plane. The mass of the body is m. The mass of the body is m, and we know that mass of the body, weight of the body, always acting in downward direction. The weight of the body always act in downward direction. So this is the direction of the weight, mg. Weight is acting in vertical direction, and normal Normal always acts perpendicular to the surface of the body. This is the surface of the body which is placed on the inclined plane. So the normal reaction acts perpendicular to the surface of the body which is placed on the inclined plane. Normal reaction. This is the normal reaction which is making an angle 90 degree with the plane, with its plane. When we produced this normal reaction in backward direction, then if this angle is phi, then this angle will also becomes phi. How this angle becomes phi? We can check it. If this angle is phi and this is perpendicular, so this is 90 degree. And in this triangle, if this is 90, this is phi, then this angle will be 90 minus phi. This angle will become 90 minus phi. 90 minus phi. This is the angle because the sum of three angles should be 180 degree. Again, this is 90 degree. R is perpendicular and we have produced that this whole is 90 degree. And if this is 90 minus phi, so 90 minus phi plus phi. 90 minus phi plus phi, this whole angle becomes 90 degree. So it means if this angle is phi, then this angle will also be phi. So we put here phi, angle phi, and since weight mg is inclined an angle phi, weight mg is inclined an angle phi, so there must be two components of weight mg. Its one component lie in this direction, which is mg cos phi, because from this component this angle phi is making, and its another component will be along the plane. So this is the another component which lie along the plane by which the body rolls down. The force by which the body rolls down. So this component will be mg sin phi, and this component is mg cos phi. And in the opposite direction of motion, the force of friction acts Fs maximum. This is the limiting friction. So about angle of repose, and this phi angle is called angle of repose. The minimum angle that an inclined plane makes with a horizontal when a body placed on it, when a body placed on an inclined plane, it just begins to slide down. So on the body of mass m, there are four forces acting on it. One force is R, which is called normal reaction in vertically upward direction. And another which is acting in downward direction is mg cos phi. Then along the plane in downward direction, the force acting is mg sin phi. And due to this force, the frictional force, limiting friction, is Fs maximum. So we equate all these forces. So Fx maximum this force is equal to this force because their directions are opposite to each other. So we can write Fs maximum, Fs maximum limiting friction is equal to mg sin phi, mg sin phi, and name it first number equation. And R is equal to mg cos phi because they are directly opposite to each other. So we write R is equal to mg cos phi. This is the second number equation. We resolve these four forces in along the horizontal direction and along the vertical direction. These forces are along the horizontal direction and these two forces are along the vertical direction. Now divide first by second. Divide first by second. So we get Fs maximum upon R is equals to mg sin phi upon mg cos phi. Mg and mg gets cancelled and sin phi upon cos phi. This is equals to tan phi, and which is equals to Fs maximum limiting friction upon normal dx. And previously we have studied in an angle of friction. The expression for angle of friction was same. Angle of friction tan theta was also equals to Fs maximum upon R. So we can write that this is also equals to angle of friction tan theta. So from both sides, and but this can be firstly represent this edge mu s. Mu s was also equals to Fs maximum upon R. So name it mu s. Name it equals to mu s. So we get that mu s equals to tan phi. So coefficient of static friction is also equals to tangent of the angle of repose. Coefficient of static friction is equals to tangent of angle of repose. From here we conclude that coefficient of static friction, mu s is the static friction. So coefficient of static friction is equal to the tangent of the angle of repose. So tan phi is equals to mu s, and also we know that mu s is also equals to tan theta. In the previous video we have discussed mu s equals to tan theta also, and mu s equals to tan phi. So from here we conclude that theta equals to phi, means angle of friction is also equals to angle of repose. So we can conclude that angle of repose is equals to angle of friction. Angle of repose is equals to angle of friction. So two conclusions we draw. The first conclusion is that coefficient of static friction is equal to the tangent of the angle of repose, and angle of repose is equals to angle of friction. Now the next topic is the sliding friction. Sliding friction. And its definition is the force of friction acts on a body. The force of friction acts on a body when a body slides over the surface of another body. When a body slides over the surface of another body. This is the definition of sliding friction. The force of friction acts on a body when the body slides over the surface of another body. Example, when a wooden block is pulled over horizontal surface. When a wooden block is pulled on a horizontal surface, then the sliding friction comes into play. Then the sliding friction when a wooden block is pulled on a horizontal surface, then the sliding friction acts on a plate. So this is about sliding friction when a body slides over the surface of another body. Then the force of friction acts is called sliding friction. An example, when a wooden block is pulled on a horizontal surface, then the sliding friction acts on a body. Next is rolling friction. Rolling friction. And its definition is the force of friction acts on a body. The force of friction acts on a body when a body rolled over the surface of another body. When a body rolled over the surface of another body. So when a body rolled over the surface of another body, then the force of friction acting on it is called rolling friction. Example, When a wheel rolls over road, then the rolling friction acts, or then the rolling friction comes into play. Then the rolling friction comes into play. Now we discuss the numerical part based on this theory which we have studied in friction. And the question is, a block of weight 20 Newton is placed on a horizontal table. A block of weight 20 Newton placed on a horizontal table. A block of weight 20 Newton placed on a horizontal table. There is a block whose weight is 20 Newton, and that block is placed on a horizontal table, and a tension T which can be increased to 8 Newton, and a tension T which can be increased to 8 Newton, which can be increased to 8 Newton before the block begins to slide. Before the block begins to slide. Before the block begins to slide. So this force 8 Newton is acting on the body, and the body is not sliding, means body is at rest. So at the rest position, this force is acting. Begins to slide, is applied at the block. A force of 4 Newton keeps the block moving. A force of 4 Newton keeps the block moving. A force of 4 Newton keeps the block moving at constant speed. At constant speed. At constant speed, once it has been set in motion. Once it has been set in motion. A force of 4 Newton keeps the block moving at constant speed. When 4 Newton force is applied, then after body is moving at constant speed, once it has been set in motion. When the force of 8 Newton is applied, the block is not sliding, but just after this force, the block started sliding, and when the block is moving at constant speed, then 4 Newton force acts on it. So find the coefficient of static and kinetic friction. Find the coefficient of static and kinetic friction. So we have to find the static friction and also kinetic friction. So a static friction will be calculated when the force of 8 Newton was applied and the body was not in motion, it was in rest. After that, when the force gets increased, the body comes in motion. And on that time, when the body is in motion, then to continue the body in motion, a 4 Newton force acts. So we have to find the coefficient of friction. Where the static friction means the body is in rest, and kinetic friction means when the body is moving with constant velocity. So there is a surface, horizontal surface and block of mass 20 kg is placed, normal reaction acting upward, weight acting downward, and force is acting in forward direction. So we know that R equals to mg. R is equals to mg, and mg is given 20 Newton. Weight is 20 Newton. So this force is equals to normal reaction is equals to weight. So the value of R equals to mg. R is equals to mg, and which is already given 20 Newton. So the value of R is 20 Newton. Now the force of F is given, horizontal T, a tension T. There is not force, but there is a tension T. And in opposite direction, the opposite direction, the limiting friction is Fx maximum. Limiting friction, the body just going to a start. That's why we are using the limiting friction. But body is just going to a start after applying a force of 8 Newton. So this T is equals to Fs maximum. T is equals to Fs maximum. And already we have given the tension T is 8 Newton. So Fs maximum is 8 Newton. Now we have to find the coefficient of static friction. So coefficient of static friction is given by mu s, and the formula for which we have derived Fs maximum upon R. This was the formula for static friction. Mu s equals to Fs maximum upon R. Fs maximum is the limiting friction. When a force of 8 Newton is applied, then body just going to a start. So we are using the limiting friction, and its value is 8 Newton, and normal reaction is 20. So we get mu s equals to 0.4. 0.4. It has no any unit because it is a constant ratio of force. Now for kinetic friction, this was for static friction, now for kinetic friction. For kinetic friction, R is again equals to mg, because by kinetic friction these two forces doesn't affect it. R equals to mg equals to 20 n. At the place of Fs, now there is kinetic friction. So we write T minus Fk. T minus T equals to. This is the forward force and opposite the kinetic friction is acting Fk, and this is the value of T is now given, which is 4 Newton. So the value of Fk means kinetic friction is 4 Newton. Again we use the formula for mu k. Mu k means coefficient of kinetic friction, which is equals to Fk upon R, and the value of Fk is 4 Newton and the value of R is